Hello friend, it's Tonton, and in today's video we're gonna talk about transfers and the upcoming transfers and maybe even transfer in general. I realized looking a bit at what other content creators are doing, looking at my Discord, looking at the comments, that's still something that's very confusing for people. What is the range of state? Question around event, question around power, and the difference between leading state and normal state and regular invites. While all of that is actually super simple, and you can find everything on my Discord all the time, and you will anticipate what's going to happen months in advance for transfer with a bit of thinking, and we will talk about it how. So for me, I usually don't make content about these things because I forgot it's actually something that people have issue with or question about, because we can foresee it every time with a bit of planning and using some certain Excel sheet that some people are doing. So there is never a surprise. It's accurate 99% of the time, and we all know what's going on and all the the caps and everything. So I'll show you today how it works. There are two ways to know about transfers, right? Let's say three, but there are the official way. It comes from the developers, and we have that the concierge post, so that's given to the VIP players, so people that spend more than $10K, they have access to concierge customer support and VIP customer support, which is standard in mobile gaming. Not a problem with that in my opinion. And they got information a bit ahead. So you see the stage groups here. That was communicated, I think, yesterday or today. That might have been communicated today. So you see the groups. So that you might have seen that image going around, or that link going around. That sometimes we got it, one day before the regular player. Sometimes we got it 2 or 3 days before the regular player, but that's something. The second way to get it is, of course, in-game, right? These are mentioned, like the devs are saying, that's not final. This could be changing, so that's why they are communicating to whales and spenders, and then when it's finalized, when the list is validated 100%, they communicate it in-game. So usually, we have a little email somewhere from here, and you get the state range, right? So that's how the Moldu are getting the information, if you like Harry Potter. Or like the real magician are getting the information. It's actually very different. And you can know it, again, months or, months in advance. The way, so, if you go to my Discord, if you go on the left here, let me just move that a tiny bit. Here, you have all the guides, right? You have that part that is Tonton's guide. You go to state transfers and merger, and you get all of these, right? And you get all of the information. So that's, I shared it with everybody else. I actually done that this morning. So that's, that's today. But you get that spreadsheet that someone is doing. It's very small and very hard to see and to read, but I'll show you how I use it. And if you look at the top, you see the dates. So that's eventually gonna be, let me again resume it. Right? You see at the top, you see the date. And the dates are every 2 weeks. So the way it works with Whiteout Survival is that generation of heroes and buildings are cascading down to the next states every 2 weeks. So you see that right now, let's take 275 to you see it? Yeah, you see it. So let's take 275 and 312. So these states are in the same cluster of states. They are receiving generation of heroes and building at the same time. The one above, 332 to 274, they are in the same cluster of states. They are receiving building and heroes all at the same time. And you can see that right now they are somewhere, we are the 5th of, so we are in between these two columns, right? We are in between these two columns. So they are in between Gen 10, Gen 11, and they are having Fire Crystal 10. So the 10 is Fire Crystal 10, and the generation of heroes is here. And if you go at the bottom, you can see, you start to see Fire Crystal 8. You can start Gen 6. You can see War Academy Fire Crystal 5. You can see Fire Crystal 5. You can see Fire Crystal 3. So it goes to, state 3245. And the Jude making that, it will be updating it as states are, as the states are becoming old enough to be in transfers and things like that. So we knew that they announced transfers for next week. So that the weeks of the 10th of November, they did that because because there was a merger, and when there is a merger, they give us the date. If there are no merger and we don't know the date, transfers are either every 4 weeks or every 6 weeks. So you look at the last transfers, you add 4 weeks and you look, and I'll show you how, or you look at the last date of the transfer and you add 6 weeks and you look. So let's pick these two states because they are close to the top and they are easy to read. So I'm on a computer and will it work? No, it does not really work. So we'll do something else. So you see that right now, for the week of the 10 and the 11, so that's the column on this side, right? This state is, if I go through it, there will be Fire Crystal 10, that's normal, there is no more levels for now, and they are Gen 11. So the range of transfers is always the same generation of heroes. So for them, the range will be the white rectangle right here. All these clusters of states will be with them. So the range is 196 to 433. That's what we can guess from that, and that we could know that weeks ago. I could know. So if I'm recruiting, especially when I know the date because of a state merger, I can recruit weeks in advance because we know the range. So in our case, with my states, we know who we say no to. We know when we say yes to. We know who we say you're not gonna be in the same range as us. So next time, things like that. And if we did not know, transfer will be either this time or 2 weeks later. And 2 weeks later will be this one because this one is 2 weeks at the top. It's not 1 week, it's 2 weeks. So then the range for them will be, one below. So it will be 332. They will be one of the older states. And the youngest state with them will be 463. So that's simple when you know to read. It's just a bit harder to read when your state is at the bottom and, the weeks is at the top. But with the image, with the ruler or whatever, you can do that quite easily. So that's how you know what's going on. And here you can see it goes to middle of 2026. So you can plan all the generation of heroes for your states. You see all the new buildings. You can know until middle of next year. You can know precisely with 99% accuracy what will happen and which date. My calculator for what will happen in terms of generation and buildings is just telling you when you are eligible. It's not telling you when that's going to happen. This spreadsheet allows you to really guess what's going to happen. And in the case of transfers, again, it's every 4 to 6 weeks. So, 2 transfers ahead. You don't know because they could do 2 times 6 weeks, they could do 2 times 4 weeks, they could do 6 weeks, 4 weeks, they could do 4 weeks, 6 weeks, they could do, they could do whatever. So you cannot really know for sure like 3-4 transfers in a row, but if you really wanted to, you could calculate all of the possibilities and the range of state. And that's accurate 99% of the time because they have been cascading down building and generation of heroes for 2 years, and people have been tracking with that kind of Excel file for 2 years. So we know, we just know. The developer never told us that. It's just, it's just paying attention to what's going on and just keeping a big spreadsheet up to date. So that's one way. So the credit is going to PCB from the WOS Nerd Discord. So he's doing that, and he's going to update it, and he's going to update it either to get later in the year or to get, with more states, and he does it more or less once a month. So that's how you know about your transfers. So I just wanted to close these things. So that's how you guess it. So and if we compare, we said 240 to 463, right? Isn't that what we said? I'll double check, but we said that was this one. That was that's actually, for this time, it might be a bit different for this one. And that, it's not always, like I said, it's 99.9. 232, but that could be because of the merger, right? Here, it's all the states, but, these might not exist. But that's the same range, except maybe a few merged states. So I'm assuming it's actually the same. If you go here, yeah, it goes to 460. So that's the same range. That's probably because there are a few merged states from 232 to 240, but you get it basically. What else about transfer that you should know and that people are very confused about? So this is something that people have been tracking, and let me remove myself for a sec. People have been tracking the condition and the threshold for like a special invite and ordinary invite, right? So you don't, I mean, special invite, there is no limit, but that's the limit for ordinary invites, and that's for the leading state equivalent, and that's based on a few things. So let me, I need to zoom in Discord a bit. So you see everything. Sometimes I like to zoom out, so you know you see everything more precisely, but in that case. So here you have the ordinary states. Here you have the leading. Here you have the power based on your gen. So you just look, say, okay, I'm gen 5 and I have FC8. Gen 5, FC8. So that will be my the range of power. You know, that for ordinary invite, I will be up to 270 here, right here. And you need to be, you know, Red Gear and War Academy, but then at that stage you will get it. So these are the 4 factors that actually increase the cap to transfer with a, you know, either on leading states or either on ordinary states. And you can just look at where you fit and you will know. So you know what you recruit. You can tell people. So when you know the range of states, when you know the range of power, you have someone that, let's say, where we are. So we will be Gen 9 and we will be FC10 for us. So that will be our new range. So let's pick my example. Let's say I wanted to transfer. Because that's simple, you can see it. I'm 677. I could need, of course, a special invite, right? But let me put the webcam as well. I could need a special invite, but it's unlikely with my power, with my level of spending. So I know I will need to drop 75 million power. So I can decide actually, like either I should have stopped spending, you know, training troops for a while, not stop training troops, but, you know, burning my training speed ups, increasing my stuff. I could have, you know, tried to not increase my level too much. I'll remove my hero gear, I'll reset everything, and I will be close to 645 maybe, and then I'll kill 45 million. But if I anticipated transferring and I know that at that range, because I can plan for it with all I've shown you, right? That is, the limit will be 600 million. I could go crazy on the next, you know, on one of the SVS before the transfer, kill a lot of troops, have a lot of fun, get a lot of rewards for that, and then be as close as 600 million. Not training will be ideal. In my case, I trained, you know, because I'm not planning to move. But you can anticipate, right? So either you can tell people, let's say, you know, you have someone that's at 800 million. They're not likely going down 200. So you know you will need a special invite for them. You get someone at 620. Very easy. Just remove your hero gear. So between the two things I've shown you, you can really anticipate all what's going on basically with the transfers, and tell people, okay, you will get a special, you won't get a special, you will need to lower power, but, you know, good news, if you stop spending, if you know, stop like using your speed up, stop improving your gear, which many people do for transfers, you will only have to drop 10 million power. And the only way to drop power that is, you know, not killing troop is actually, you just need to remove your hero gear. See that my power went down, right? If I put it back. So that's not removing the amount of tickets I need to transfer, but that will put me below the cap. So again, if I need, in my case, if I need 600 million, if I remove all of it, it's very simple. You know, you can go here and you see that my hero power is 76 million. So I cannot remove all of it but I can put all my heroes to level 1 and I can remove all the gear. So I might actually be able, because if you addition the rest, like I'm close to 600 million. So I might be able to just remove hero gear and kill like 10 million of troops, which is very, you know, you kill some lancers at that stage of the game, is very easy. So with that in mind, I could really prepare. So I know, for example, if I wanted to transfer that this SVS, I'm not training troops, I'm not doing anything, I'm accumulating. So I'll increase my power after I transfer. So I'll show you again everything and maybe show you a bit what's on my Discord regarding transfers. You have a recap of the event, so that's from the official Discord from our friend Just Called, that tell you which events and which event are resetting, not resetting. So you can min-max, you can do some events before transferring the same day and they will reset, you will do them again. That's really important to know. The list is not fully complete, I believe, but that's a good basis. The in-game event tells you as well quite a few of these. You have all my videos, so kind of explaining to you how these transfers and mergers work and the cycle. Like, you know, transfers are every 4 to 6 weeks. Merger, it's 3-4 months, sometimes 2 months. I kind of, having a guide about how to do with transfer, but we talked quite a bit about it today. How to choose a state, how to choose how to choose an alliance, things like that. How to drop your power. We talked a bit about it today, but these go into more details. And you have this image that was made again by, I like to give credits to people. That was David S300 from state 372, so from the official Discord. That's even on the official Discord for this one. So there is really no problem with that. And there is this one from PCB that you can guess transfers, you can guess, you cannot guess merger. Merger, there is no way to guess mergers as far as we know. And then you can guess new generation, you can guess new building levels with the precise date when you will get it, because that's every 2 weeks they cascade it down. But that's it for transfer, that's it for how to anticipate. Hopefully that's helpful, because like sometimes because I've been using these things for so long, I'm like, how do you guys still have questions? Because you're not using these tools. It's super straightforward to do, and then you kind of read the future, if that makes sense. That's kind of your crystal ball. And that's really easy to use, just take a bit of effort. And, so if you plan to transfer, if you plan to recruit, these are really, really helpful. Let me know in the comment if the video was helpful about transfers, if you miss any information. If you want to have these files, just join the Discord. The link in the description. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.